Good morning, class 9. Today we are going to start the exercise 6.2. As we know that some points you have to remember before starting exercise 6.2 of your NCERT textbook. So here I am giving you some points which you have to note down in your maths exercise copy. So all of you please take out your maths exercise copy and NCERT textbook. Suppose M and N are two straight lines and they are parallel lines. They are called parallel lines. So what are parallel lines, students? If the lines never intersect with each other or meet with each other and they are always at the equidistant from each other, then these lines are called the parallel lines. So line M and line N are parallels, and line L is called the transversal line because it intersects these two parallel lines M and N at two distinct points. So I have pointed so many angles here: angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7 and angle 8. So students, you can observe and note down that angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 and angle 8 are called exterior angles. Angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6 are called interior angles. And one more thing you note down that angle 1 and angle 5, angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7, angle 4 and angle 8 are called corresponding angles. Okay, and angle 4 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 4 are called interior alternate angles. Okay, angle 1 and angle 7, angle 2 and angle 8 are called exterior alternate angles. And one more point, angle 4 and angle 5. Look at the pair of angles, angle 4 and angle 5, angle 3 and angle 6 are interior angles on the same side of the transversal line. Suppose L is the, look at the figure, here L is the transversal line and angle 4 and angle 5 are the interior angles and they are at the same side of the transversal line. And angle 3 and angle 6 are also interior angles and they are at the same side of the transversal line. So write down these points. Next some theorem you have to keep it in your mind. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of alternate interior angles is equal. If a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of alternate interior angle is equal, then the two lines are parallel. Okay. Next, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary. Let me clear this point. Now see, for angle 4 and angle 5 are two interior angles at the same side of the transversal line. So angle 4 plus angle 5 should be equal to 180 degree. That means supplementary angle. If I add angle 4 and angle 5, then it is equal to 180 degree. If I add angle 3 and angle 6, then it is equal to 180 degree. Now here you see angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 1 is equal to angle 5, angle 2 is equal to angle 3, angle 6. Because these are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are always equal. Angle 4 and angle 8 are equal. Angle 3 and angle 7 are equal. Angle 3 and angle 5 are equal because they are alternating interior angles. Angle 4 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Angle 1 is equal to angle 7 because they are alternate exterior angles. Angle 2 and angle 8 are equal because they are alternate exterior angles. So you have to keep it in mind. If a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal is supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. Lines which are parallel to the same line are parallel to each other. ठीक है. Next, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal. If a transversal intersects two lines such that a pair of corresponding angles is equal, then the two lines are parallel to each other. So, if I say this, that means this is the converse of the before one. If I say this, then this is the converse of this rule. Okay. Now let's start exercise 6.2. Question number 1. Look at this figure. Here AB and CD are two parallel lines and this line is the transversal line. So you have to find out the value of X and Y. Now you know that this is a straight line. This transversal line is a straight line. And on this straight line, we can see that angle 50 degree and angle X are linear pair of angles. And now you can see that angle Y and angle 130 degree are vertically opposite angles. So we can say that Y is equal to 130 degree. And we can say that X plus 50 degree should be equal to 180 degree because they are linear pair of angles. So write down values, or you have to find the values of X and Y, and you have to show that AB, line AB is parallel to CD. So let's start. We know that a linear pair is equal to, just now I have told you, equal to 180 degree. So we can write X plus 50 degree, angle X plus 50 degree is equal to 180 degree. Okay. Now find out the value of angle X. Angle X will be 180 degree minus 50 degree, that is equal to 130 degree. Now you got the value of angle X, that is equal to 130 degree. Now we also say that, we also know that vertically opposite angles are equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So here you can say that angle Y is equal to 130 degree. Here you see these are vertically opposite angles. So I have written angle Y is equal to 130 degree. In two parallel lines, write down, in two parallel lines, the alternate interior angles are equal. Now you see X and Y are alternate interior angles. Angle X and angle Y are alternate interior angles and their value are same. Here you see X is equal to 130 degree and Y is equal to 130 degree. That means they are alternate interior angles. When we proved that they are alternate interior angles, then it also proved that line AB is parallel to line CD. Once you have proved that alternate interior angles are equal, then you can say that line AB is parallel to line CD. So in this, X is equal to Y, Y is equal to 130 degree. This proves that, write down, this proves that alternate angles are equal. So AB is parallel to CD. This much is the sum. So all of you note down. Next, I am solving question number 2. Here you see the figure. Here AB is parallel to CD and CD is parallel to EF. Okay, and this is a transversal line. Now you have to find out the value of, here you have to find out, read the question. In this sum, you have to find the value of x. And one more clue is given to you that y is to angle z is equal to 3:7. They are in the ratio 3:7. So you have to find out the value of angle x. So how you will find out? As the angles on the same side of a transversal line sums up to 180 degree, I have once told you that angle x and angle y are the interior angles on the same side of this transversal line. So they sum up to 180 degree. So write down the theorem. As angles on the same, as interior, write down as interior angles on the same side of a transversal line sums up to 180 degree. We can write x plus y is equal to 180 degree. Now you see how you will find out the value of y. Now you give the name angle O. Now you give this angle a name, angle O. Now you can observe that angle Z and angle O are the corresponding angles. Okay. So if angle Z, here one more thing I have to write. Here angle Z is equal to angle O. Okay students. So write down. Also angle Z is equal to angle O because they are corresponding angles. Write down, they are corresponding angles. Next, so we can write angle Y plus angle Y. Here you see angle Y and angle O. If I add angle Y and angle O, it should be equal to 180 degree because they are linear pair of angles. So write down angle Y plus angle O should be equal to 180 degree because they are linear pair of angles. Next, so we can say that, now putting the value of angle O as angle Z, we can write down angle Y plus angle Z is equal to 180 degree. Okay. And one more clue you have noted that it is given y is to z is equal to 3:7. So write down 3a plus 7a is equal to 180 degree because y is to z is equal to 3:7, or you can write y is equal to 3a and z is equal to 7a. Write down here, because this is the because sign, because y is to z is equal to 3:7 it is given, and from this expression we can write down that y is equal to 3a and z is equal to 7a. Now putting the value of y and z in this equation, we get 3a plus 7a is equal to 180 degree, and 3a plus 7 is equal to 10a. 10a is equal to 180 degree. That means a is equal to 180 degree by 10. That is equal to a is equal to 18 degree. Therefore, a is equal to 18 degree. Now, putting the value of a in this, we get the value of angle y, and putting the value of a 18 in this equation, we get the value of z. So now you write down here. Hence, y is equal to 3 into 18 and z is equal to 3 into 7 into 18. 3 into 18 is equal to 54 and 7 into 18 is equal to 126 degree. Okay, once I have told you x plus y is equal to 180 degree, so from the equation you can give the equation a name, equation 1. From equation 1, putting the value of y as 54 degree, we can get the value of x. So x is equal to then 180 degree minus 54, that is equal to 126 degree. 126 degree. Therefore, x is equal to 126 degree. See, from the equation number 1, x plus y is equal to 180 degree because they are interior angles on the same side of a transversal line which sums up to 180 degree. And from this we get the value of y. Putting the value of y 54 degree in this equation, we get the value of x is equal to 126 degree. Now our next sum is question number 3. Here you look at the figure. It is given look at the figure 6.30. You can see that AB and CD are two parallel lines. It is given here, and EF is perpendicular to CD. If EF is perpendicular to CD, that means FED is 90 degree and FEC is also 90 degree, and angle GED is equal to 126 degree. So you have to find out angle AGE. You have to find out angle AGE, and you have to find out the angle GEF, and also you have to find out FGE. Once I have told you, it is given that JED is equal to 126 degree. That means AG is also 126 degree because these are interior alternate angles. So this is also 126 degree. Now you see FED is equal to 90 degree. So how you will find out the angle GEF? GEF is equal to 126 degree minus 90 degree. Then you will find out this value, angle GEF. So angle GEF and angle AGE we can find out. Then find out the value of angle FGE. How you will find out the angle FGE? Once you have taken out the value of AGE 126 degree, that means this angle FGE and angle AGE are linear pair of angles. That means sum of these two angles should be equal to 180 degree. Now putting the value of AGE, we will get the value of FGE. It is very easy sum. So let me start. Write down angle FED is equal to 90 degree because EF is perpendicular to CD. Again you can write down angle GED is equal to angle GEF plus angle FED. Look at the figure. Angle GED is equal to angle GEF and FED. These two angles, the sum of these two angles is equal to angle GED. And once you have, once it is given that angle GED is equal to 126 degree and GEF you don't know, you know angle FED, that is equal to 90 degree. Now subtracting 90 from 126 degree, we get 36 degree. So here angle GEF is equal to 36 degree. Okay students, it is very easy. Now again once I have told you angle AGE is equal to angle GED because they are alternate interior angles. Okay. So if angle GED is 126 degree, then angle AGE is also 126 degree. Okay. Next, so angle, now you write down, so angle AGE plus angle FGE is equal to 180 degree, because they are linear pair of angles, Now find out the value of, putting the value of angle AGE as 126 degree, find out the value of FGE. So angle FGE is equal to 180 degree minus 126 degree, that is equal to 54 degree. So hence, therefore angle FG is equal to 54 degree and angle AG is equal to 126 degree. What you have to find out in this question. Next, one more you have to find out, that is angle, these two you have found angle GEF yet to find out. Angle GEF, what is the angle GEF? So sorry, we have also reduced it. Angle GEF is equal to 36 degree, angle AG is equal to 126 degree and angle FGE is equal to 54 degree. Therefore angle GEF is equal to 36 degree, angle AGE is equal to 126 degree and angle FGE is equal to 54 degree. Write down, TQR is a straight line. So angle PQT plus angle PQR should be equal to 180 degree, and we know that angle PQT is equal to 110 degree. Putting the value of angle PQT, then we can find out the angle PQR, that is equal to, angle PQR is equal to 180 degree minus 110 degree. So angle PQR is equal to 70 degree. Okay. Next, we know that angle SPR is equal to 135 degree. Look at the figure, angle SPR is equal to 135 degree, which is the exterior angle, and we know that sum of two interior angles, opposite interior angle, should be equal to the exterior angle. So angle PQR plus angle PRQ is equal to 135 degree. Write down, from the property of triangle, we know that exterior angle is equal to sum of opposite interior angles. Now putting the value of PQR, what is the value of PQR? 70 degree. Just now we have reduced it. So angle PRQ, we get the value of angle PRQ. So angle PRQ is equal to 135 degree minus 70 degree, that is equal to 65 degree. Okay, got it? Next, question number 2. Now look at this figure. In figure 6.40, angle X is 62 degree, which is given, and XYZ is a triangle. XY Z, angle XYZ is equal to 54 degree. If YO is the bisector and ZO is the bisector, then find angle OZY and YOZ. So OZY, you have to find out this angle, and YOZ, then you have to find out this angle also. So now one clue is given to you that OY is the bisector of angle XYZ and OZ is the bisector of angle XZY. So we here two angles are values of two interior angles are given, angle X and angle Y. So we can find out the value of angle Z because we know that the sum of three interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. So from this property of the triangle we can find out the angle Z also. So let's start. Write down angle X is equal to, it is in the capital letter, angle X is equal to 62 degree. So angle XYZ is equal to 54 degree, which is given. So angle X plus angle XYZ plus angle XZY is equal to 180 degree because the sum of interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. So now putting the value of angle X and angle XYZ, we get the value of angle XZY, that is angle XZY is equal to 180 degree minus 62 degree plus 54 degree. That is equal to, students, 180 degree minus 116 degree, that is 64 degree. So therefore angle XZY is equal to 64 degree. Now as it is given that Z is a OZ is a bisector of angle XZY, so OZY is equal to, angle OZY is equal to half of angle XZY. So half into, once you have already taken out the value of XZY, putting the value of XZY, we get half of 64 degree is 32 degree. Therefore angle OZY is equal to 32 degree. Now you see angle XYZ is equal to 54 degree and OY is the bisector. So OY is, if OY is the bisector, then you know the value of OYZ. OYZ should be equal to half of angle XYZ. So angle OYZ is equal to half of angle XYZ because OY is the bisector of angle XYZ. Okay. Now angle OYZ is equal to half into 54, that is equal to 27 degree. Okay. So angle OYZ is equal to 27 degree. Now from the property of the triangle we know that angle OYZ plus angle YOZ plus angle OZY is equal to 180 degree. Sum of interior angles, write down again, sum of interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. Okay. So write down angle OYZ is equal to 27 degree and angle YOZ you have to find out, and angle OZY is equal to 32 degree, which is equal to 180 degree. So angle YOZ is equal to 180 degree minus 59 degree. So angle YOZ is equal to 121 degree. Okay. It's very easy. See this triangle, triangle OYZ. In the triangle OYZ, you can see that angle YOZ plus angle OZY plus OYZ should be equal to 180 degree, because these three angles are interior angles of a triangle OYZ. Now next let's start question number 3. The question number 3, in figure 6.41, AB is parallel to DE. Angle BAC is equal to 35 degree and angle CDE is equal to 53 degree, which is given. Now you see, if angle BAC is equal to 35 degree, then angle CED is also 35 degree, because these two angles are interior alternate angles. Okay, and you already know the value of CDE, which is given. Angle CD is equal to 53 degree. Now you have to find out the angle DCE. Now from the property of triangle, you know that the sum of three interior angles of a triangle should be equal to 180 degree. So 53 degree plus 35 degree plus angle DCE should be equal to 180 degree. Now adding these two angles, 35 degree and 53 degree, you subtract the sum of 35 degree and 53 degree from 180 degree, we get the value of DCE. So let's start. It's very easy sum. So write down, AB is parallel to DE, which is given. Angle BAC is equal to 35 degree, it is also given, and angle CDE is equal to 53 degree is given. You have to find out the angle DCE. Okay, so write down, angle BAE is equal to angle AED, because alternate interior angles. Okay, next, so we can, from this we can say that angle AED is equal to 35 degree. Putting the value of angle BAE, that is equal to 35 degree. Here BAC, here you see BAC, which is extended to E. So you can also say BAE. Instead of saying BAC, you can say BAE also. So angle AED is equal to 35 degree. Now write down, we know that angle CDE plus angle CED plus angle DCE is equal to 180 degree. So putting the value of CDE and CED, we get so angle DCE is equal to 180 degree minus 5 plus 3 8 and 5 plus 3 8, 88 degree. So 92 degree. Therefore angle DCE is equal to 92 degree. Like this we have to solve. It is very easy as sum. So next is question number 4. In figure 6.42, if lines PQ and RS intersect at point T such that angle PRT is equal to 40 degree, angle RPT is equal to 95 degree and TSQ is equal to 75 degree, then find the value of angle SQT. Now the question number 4, the figure is like this. If you consider the triangle PRT, you can see that angle P, angle R and angle T. If I add the angle P, angle R and angle T, it should be equal to 180 degree. So write down angle PRT plus angle PTR plus angle RPT should be equal to 180 degree, because write down sum of interior angles of a triangle should be equal to 180 degree. Now putting the value of PRT and RPT, we get 95 degree plus a 40 degree plus angle PTR is equal to 180 degree. So angle PTR is equal to 180 degree minus 135 degree, that is equal to 45 degree. Therefore angle PTR is equal to 45 degree. So this is 45 degree. If PTR is equal to 45 degree, then STQ is also 45 degree, because these two angles are vertically opposite angles. See, angle PTR is 45 degree. So it is equal to angle STQ, because angle STQ and PTR, these two angles are vertically opposite angles. So vertically opposite angles are always equal. So write down angle PTR is equal to angle STQ, because vertically opposite angles. So angle STQ should be equal to 45 degree. Now considering the triangle STQ, if you consider the triangle STQ, you can write down angle S plus angle T plus angle Q should be equal to 180 degree. According to the property of the triangle, we know that the sum of interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. So now write down angle STQ plus angle QST plus angle SQT is equal to 180 degree. Now STQ is equal to 45 degree. Put the value of STQ, and QST is given 75 degree. It is given in the question. Now you can find out the SQT. So angle SQT is equal to 180 degree minus 120 degree. 75 degree plus 45 degree is equal to 120 degree. So angle SQT is equal to 180 degree minus 120 degree, that is equal to 60 degree. Therefore angle SQT is equal to 60 degree. This you have to find in this question. So clear? Hope I have cleared you all, and those sum which I have not solved in the class, I will give it to you in the PDF form. Okay students, so practice like this, it will become very easy to you. It's not very tough. Okay, so let me finish my class. Thank you student. Bye. See you again.